Glass half full attitude will get you through this Wednesday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on 13 Sunrise. I'm Julia Brooks, joined by Samantha Johnson, who is in for Julia Moffitt this morning. And Lindsay, rain is a good thing, is what people are saying. Let's go with that.
We'll take it. I think so. After seeing, did you guys see that video that Matt Stanridge tweeted yesterday or posted on X? There were grass fires over near Centerville in Wayne County that prompted the wind. The wind kind of prompted that to kind of spread rapidly. I'm like, what is? And so it's like, we need the rain. Let's get it here.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing because that rain moved in as anticipated. We still have some showers out there that are lingering this morning as well. The wind does stay strong. So let's talk about where that rain is currently. And we're really starting to see it fill back in across the southern half of the state. This is live Doppler 13 radar looping over the past hour. Want to zoom in where we're seeing this rain falling, and it's basically all along that 69 corridor, now making its way into the far southern extent of Marion County. Greenwood about to see some raindrops all the way down from Martinsville to Bloomington, and we are actually seeing some steadier, more moderate rainfall right there on the border of Morgan and Johnson counties, moving into Barkersville right now. This yellow on the radar indicates where we could even see some visibility issues with some slightly heavier rainfall rates. Now, this all is associated with this area of low pressure. First, we had that warm front lift through yesterday, got us back to 66 degrees. Now we're changing up our wind direction as some colder air wraps around the backside of the system. Still going to be looking at some off and on rain showers today, but then as that much colder air moves in, the potential of rain switching back over to some snow showers by later tonight. Again, we're all still in the 50s as we get our day started. This will be the warmest part of the day. We fall back into the 40s over the mid-morning hours into the afternoon, and then eventually into the 30s later tonight. After about 5 p.m., the potential we could see some snow mixing in and some slick spots developing overnight. We're going to talk more about that hour-by-hour timeline coming up in your full forecast. I want to get you out to the roadways this morning and show you what this rain is doing to the roads across parts of the metro and places south. Now, this is a live look down that 69 corridor. This is in the Martinsville area, that new stretch of 69, this fresh new pavement getting some rain over top of it and some visibility issues as well. Going up the 69 corridor, this is going to take us to the near south side where 69 matches up with 465, this junction here near Epler Avenue. The rain just now starting to make its way into this zone of Marion County. Certainly already seeing some of these fresh water droplets there on our in-depth camera at the south side of town. Otherwise, we are accident and delay free. Just want you to be prepared for some waterlogged roads at times, as well as some gusty winds that could make travel a little more difficult today.
Well, let's get back to the latest on this breaking news out of Hendricks County, where Brownsburg police are investigating a double homicide. We know that 2 men are killed.
We know this is on Acre Street, not far from South Green and Main Streets. Matthew Foltz just got to the scene. Matthew, I know we've heard a little bit of information from police. They say a person is in custody.
Yes, Samantha, that is correct. They have 1 person in custody, but still many questions this morning as to what led to these 2 men being killed. We're still working to learn how they were killed. As you take a look behind me, it's still a pretty active scene on this tight street and tight neighborhood. We do know crime scene investigators with Brownsburg police are on the scene. I'm still waiting to speak with another PIO to get an update on the investigation. But what I can tell you is it looks like they have a lot of, at least 2 homes in the middle of the street blocked off with crime scene tape. We're told that police found 2 men dead in the middle of the street next to a truck, at what it looks like here from my viewing point. Again, officers tell us that they were in the area, they heard gunshots, and that's when they came to this area and found 2 men who were dead and 1 person, again, taken into custody. But here's what police had to say to us a few minutes ago about this area.
This is actually a very quiet area. In fact, a lot of the residents here have been here for many years right here on Acre Avenue. So definitely not an area that we receive any sort of issues, noise complaints, certainly any sort of active investigations to this caliber.
Now back here live on the scene again, still a very active investigation. I can tell you that police say there is no active threat to the public. Again, one person is in custody. 2 men have been found dead here at the scene. We're going to work to try to get some more information, hopefully from another PIO officer within the next hour or hopefully 30 minutes or so, ladies. But certainly a tragic scene here in Brownsburg this morning.
All right, Matthew, we'll check in soon. Thank you.
This morning, a man is awaiting sentencing after he was convicted of several charges in connection with a road rage shooting.
A judge found Marquise Tipton guilty of aggravated battery and criminal recklessness. That shooting not only put other drivers at risk of being hurt, but a woman was shot in the eye at work. So take a look at your screen. You may remember this. Prosecutors say this security camera video shows Tipton running through the Shell gas station parking lot near 71st and Keystone. That was in March of 2023. He fires 6 shots at a car he thought was involved in a crash with him. Prosecutors say bullets hit a different SUV that had a young girl inside. Thankfully, no one was hit. But another bullet traveled across the street and hit Susie Warden, who was working at Sullivan Hardware and Garden as a cashier at the time. The bullet hit her in the temple and left eye.
All the things that y'all can be covering, dead kids, but y'all worried about this. I need to be ashamed of yourselves, man.
Tipton speaking directly to our cameras yesterday. He's expected back in court on April 29th for his sentencing. This morning, we are getting more insight into that breaking news we had for you yesterday morning here on Sunrise. Police tell us loud music may have led to a deadly shooting in Lawrence. You'll remember this happened near 46th and Post Road. That's where police say they found a 57-year-old man in the middle of the street. Investigators did take a suspect into custody for questioning. So far, no word on any arrests in this case. We talked with neighbors right after it happened who called this shooting senseless.
Ralph did not deserve this at all. This was a senseless act and could have been worked out a better way. Ridiculous.
Neighbors we spoke to at the scene tell us this is a tight-knit community and they call the victim a good friend.
A former Marion County constable is back in court months after pleading guilty to misconduct and gun charges. Former Center Township Constable Denise Hatch tells 13 News she is looking to vacate her felony charge for official misconduct. Hatch did plead guilty to the charges last October, but now she says she's looking to reverse that plea. A Marion County judge denied a previous request by Hatch to overturn the plea agreement when she tried last year. Hatch agreed to plead guilty to several of the charges, including felony official misconduct. She has another hearing later this month.
6:07 now. This morning, the family of 2 brothers who drowned while kayaking in the White River, they're filing a lawsuit against the city of Indianapolis.
Marcus Robinson and Solomon Shirley disappeared last April. Attorneys believe the brothers went over a Lowhead Dam near Belmont Beach and 16th Street. This lawsuit claims the city is at fault. It says the city received numerous requests to remove the dam, to modify it, or at least put up more signs out there. But the attorneys say that those requests went unaddressed. Marcus and Solomon's mother says that she hopes this lawsuit keeps others safe.
A 17-year-old died at the same spot when his canoe went over the dam in 2021. Last year, Indy DPW announced funding to remove the dam. So far, there's no timeline in place to do that. We did reach out to city leaders about the lawsuit, and the Office of Corporation Counsel told us they won't be commenting on pending litigation.
This morning, 2 new executive orders directed at transgender Hoosiers are in effect. Governor Mike Braun signed them yesterday. The first one bans transgender women and girls from participating in women's sports in Indiana schools. The second says there are only 2 genders, male and female. The governor calls the orders, quote, common sense. Opponents, though, say that they just target vulnerable people. Until now, trans Hoosiers have been able to change their birth certificates with a court order. They won't be required to revert to their original birth certificate. Same with driver's license. However, people with an X designation on their license, meaning neither male or female, won't be allowed to renew their license with that marker. Your time is 6:09. This morning, we're also hearing lawmakers are considering changes to the state's encroachment law. This was passed 2 years ago, and it created a 25-foot buffer zone around police while they're out working and investigating. but it did face 2 lawsuits, one of them brought by members of a media coalition, including WTHR's parent company. There is an injunction against the law, so that means it's not being enforced right now. But this new bill, House Bill 1122, aims to add some clarity to the language in this law. The language saying that an officer can ask someone to back away if they believe that person's presence is interfering with an officer's ability to do their job. And that bill did just pass out of committee, so now it heads to the full Senate where other changes can be proposed.
DPW is using the recent warm weather to tackle one of their toughest jobs, filling thousands of potholes across the city. DPW is using hot mix to fill those holes. They say that provides a longer lasting treatment on the roads. Earlier this year, the department reported more than 4,000 potholes across the city, and they say they still need your help to keep up with this issue. So you can report a pothole on your commute through the Mayor's Action Center, and we've got that link for you at WTHR.com. Oh, this morning, the blue and gold are sending the Rockets back to Houston without a win.
Last night, Tyrese Halliburton continued his hot hand. He had 28 points, leading the Pacers to that 115-102 win. Pascal Siakam scored 18 points, and Miles Turner not too far behind him with 16. Right now, the Pacers are 35-25 for the season. They're tied for second in the division with the Milwaukee Bucks.
All right, so 6 of the Pacers' next 7 games are on the road. They're in Atlanta tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30.
And we are tracking rain already showing back up on the south side of town. This is Epler Avenue at the new I-69 ramps. Rain will be off and on throughout the day, and temperatures are on the downward trend. We're in the 50s now, but we're going to be in the 30s getting into the evening tonight. We'll be tracking the return of rain to snow showers as well. I've got that timeline coming up in your full forecast.
Well, this morning, several companies are warning of the lasting effects of tariffs on the economy. At 6:45, we'll talk about some of the everyday products you may pay more for.
And this morning, President Trump is outlining his vision for the country 6 weeks after taking office. Coming up at 6:15, we'll break down the president's comments to a joint session of Congress.